タートしてる。スタートしてる。なんか気づいたらスタートしてるんだけど、これよく操作がわからない。さあどうしよう。どうしよう。操作がわからない。これでアップ、カバン、穴がある。でこれで操作がわからないぞこれ。
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
さあ、本を読んだ後、どんな感じ？
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
ダッシュとかできないのかな。ダッシュとかできないみたいだね。あ、これか。LR で操作なんだ。
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
手紙取らない。
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
手紙取らんのこれ。いいの？しゃがんだりとかってできるわけじゃないんだね。行ってみようか。
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
なるほ
Maybe
ど。
she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
これどっちだろう。こっち行ける。でもこっちも行けるよ。下行ってみる。でも上も行けるよ。上も行ける。どっちがいいんかな。こっち行ってみようか。本当はね、今回ちょっとね、違うソフトの予定だったんだけど、急遽ね、YouTube 配信ができないってなって、そう、急遽ね、ソフトをね、こちらに変えたんですけど、まあ、こちらもちょっと名前とかね、はい、こんばんはいらっしゃい。ジャケットで決めたんですけど、急遽ね。これさっきの下の道でもよかったんじゃないか。あ、これさ、こうやって降りれたんだ。
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
とりあえず行ってみよう。あ、多分降りてくるとひょっこりはんになってるわ。いけない。これでもさ、初めからオプションとかもさなかったけど、あ、ここにあんのか。いい、まあ、とりあえず行こう。行くか。あ、音声とかねありましたらまたまあ言ってくださいね。音小さいよとかね、声聞こえないとか。ちなみにこれどういうゲームなんでしょうね。またジャケットとかで選んじゃってるからさ。あ、了解ですって、ありがとうね。 てんのこれ。合ってんのこれ。なんかいろいろ来ちゃってるけど、もう本当だったら多分あの屋敷に入った方が良かったんだと思う。で、水の中には入れないっぽい。入れないっぽい。まあいいや、戻ろう。これダッシュがないね。めっちゃゆったり歩くね。じゃあさっきの家に行こうか。だってあと何もなんか取れそうなものとかないもんね。屋敷の話だから多分ね、屋敷行かんとダメなんだよこれきっと。ほら、でも何にもなさそうだぜ。
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
夢と同じだって、正夢だったんじゃない？いやー、わからんなこれ。なんか生き物みたいなさ顔したのがいるよこれ。ほらベロ出てんの。あ、これ船かな。多分船が折れたんだな。ほらあそこにヘビみたいな右上ぐらいにねいましたけど。船というかボートかな。
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the
17歳なんだって。JK か。 JK だね。 JK って言わんか。これはこっから入んの？
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
鍵持ってたんじゃないの？
The power had been turned off the night we left.
止められてんだって。どうすんの？どうすんの？どうすんのこれ。なんもないね。とりあえず多分序章だからか何も出てこんね。あ、ドア開いてるね。操作これだ。L2 を使うんだな。
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
すごいね。これ氷とあれじゃない？押したら出てくんじゃない？でも誰か住んでた形跡があるんじゃないこれ。何これ？
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
L2 かなんか押すとあれか調べるみたいな感じなのか操作が。
The table was still a wreck
全然
from the
説明
night
書
we
すら見てない
left.
からね。で
It was like a bomb had gone off,
どうなってんの？
killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
殺されたんだって。
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
外が見えるよ。誰か来るわけじゃない。
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it.
でも結構いい家じゃない？でも屋敷だからか。ちょっと高級そうな感じするね。
Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
よし、行こう。あとはこれなんもないじゃん。あ、ちょっと待って。こっちは何も、こっちがあるね。あ、すごいこれ。操作すると回るわ、ちゃんと。
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
バーバラのために作ったあれだって。あ、でも階段もあるよ。ちょっと待って、一回見てから行くか。で、ここは来たんだよね。一回地下見てから行くか。
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
あ、入らないんだ。
My mom wasn't much of an optimist,
じゃあこれ何の鍵なんだろう
but
ね。
she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
過去の話をしているのはわかるんだけど、行こう。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
こ
Then
れ
Edie
下とかさ、
retaliated
動画
and
帳
drilled
で
peepholes.
出てくるわけじゃないから文字がさ、ちょっと読みづらいね、これね。画面動かしちゃうと読めないね。さあ。
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
あ、この鍵だったの？
Turns out, my mom was really good at
さっき
keeping
のこの鍵だったの？
secrets.
何これ？
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been
部屋があ
afraid
る。
of.
ちょっと待って。まだ行かない。まだ行かない。2回全部見切ってないから。
My grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
ここも多分後で来るパターンか。じゃあこれは
The last time I was in Edith Senior's room, I was 10 and she was painting my
なん
portrait.
かこれ覗いたらさ、ドゥワーとかって出てきそうだけどね。じゃあ次。あ、ちょっと待って。これ。
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
でも上もある。ちょっと待って。
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
これまだ
Edie's
行か
father
なくていいっ
Odin
てこ
built
と
the
かな。
original house. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
あ、そうなんだ。行けないんだ。じゃあさっきの部屋行くしかないね。これか。これ。くぐるの好きだね。スタートからね。絵とか置いてある。
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
ミルトンって人がい
Reading
たらしい。
this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
読もうよ。読めないじゃん。読めないっぽい。
But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
全部がどういう結末？なんか絵みたいのが流されてるな。
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947.
Dear
Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
急に暗くなったね。急に暗くなったよ。
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
ネズミの餌食ったの？マジ？
My Halloween candy was all gone.
あ、これ子供の姿になってんのか今。見れないなこれ。だってネズミのさ、だって食べたんですよ。クリストファー。何クリストファーって。あ、この金魚の名前がってこと？トイレ。すっげえ。この部屋トイレまでついてるよ。
I kept eating and eating.
何これ？歯磨き粉？やばいだろ。やばいやばいこの子。確かにトイレなんかある。確かに
I ate a lot of things that
子供用の歯磨き粉って甘くて食べたくなるようなね感じは分かるなくもないけど、しかもこれ飾りじゃないの。飾りの
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
飾りのあれじゃないの今の。
It was a
今の
barn
さくらんぼ
swallow
じゃん。
going back to her nest. I
クリ
reached
スマ
out
ス
for
ツリー
her.
とかの。あ、鍵が閉まってる。鎖がね。
Suddenly, I was a cat.
猫になってた？飛べた。
I tried to be quiet, but the
飛べた。
bird was really scared.
ちょっとまだ見てないとこあんだけどいいのかなこれ。まあいっか。行っちゃうそのまま。次どこ行くんだ？あ、こっちか。
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
見れないんだ。ちょっと画面の動きが。こんな飛べる猫。確かに運動神経はわかるけど、めっちゃこの幅狭いやん。こんな状況でいける？ これどうするの？あ、これこっちか。あ、これジャンプすんのか。あ、違う、戻ってきちゃったんだな、これ。さあ、これは
I jumped and I almost got her.
なんか本みたいのあった。でもあれか、背丈が足りんのか、猫だから。あれ？登れない。あ、この椅子かな？
I could tell she was getting really tired.
ああ、ちょっとダメだ、うまくいけない。ちょっと待って。操作がね。あれ、落ちちゃった。ちょっと下がって、あ、ちょっと、うい、どこ行ったその後。あ、これか。
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
これじゃ飛べないよね、絶対。じゃあここに飛ぶ。ちょっと待って、落ちたりはしないんだ。
I gobbled her up.
落ちたね。
I was
自
an
動で。
owl. First, all
袋
I
になっ
heard
たっ
was
て。
the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
なんか内容が可愛らしくなってる気がするんだけど。
Rabbits.
ウサギ。あ、ウサギがいたわね。あ、操作できるんだこれ。右とか左しかできない。どういう、あ、なるほどね。ウサギを捕まえろってことか。こういうこと。あ、そう。できた。
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
なるほどね。この主人公が子供になって子供になったら
A mama rabbit.
猫になって猫になったら袋になってんのね。できた。
She was almost
袋
too
になっ
big to carry.
て食料
I
を求
started
めてウサギを
choking,
食ったって
but I
話だ
couldn't
よ。
stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
サメだって山で山なのにサメなんですか。 これどうやって、すごい動きだなこれ。なんかぬいぐるみが転がってる感じがするよこれ。
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean.
いや、こんだけ撃たれてたら多分死ぬと思うんだけど、普通に。ちょっと待って。そしたらもっと食べれるって。あ、こうやって捕まえろってことだよ。はいはいはい。船がある。船があるぞ。お、いたいたいたいたいた。
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
もっと太って美味しいアシカだって。いるそんな。これ以上下向けないんだけど。あ、こうやってやんのか。ちょっとごめんなさいね、画面見てるからちょっとあんまり酔っちゃうかもしれないけど。
Tasted really good.
もっと探せってこと？うわうわ。
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
ちょっと待って、今度なんかヘビになってる。目を開けたら全てが変わってた。どうすんのこれ。
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
人間の匂いが来る。画面操作がこれしかない。
I was big, and I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. Passenger, I was still hungry, and to cross the water I smelled something new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
怪物になったってこと？
I slithered
さっ
onto
きよ
the
り動
sand,
くのが速くなっ
and
た
the
な。
good smell went into an old pipe.
砂の上に降りていたらいい匂いはパイプの中に消えてった。あ、でもなんか押せないな今度。
got closer and closer.
なんか落としてるな。違うね。こっちにさっき扉あったな。こっちが電気ついてるってこと。すべての胃袋がぐるぐる言い始めたなって。自分に戻ってたって。何も聞こえなかった。きっと私が何でもそんな長くは持たない。私が寝るのを待ってるだって。私は本当に美味しいって。
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
全部買うわけじゃないけれどだって。モリーの謎が解けたってことこれ。セーブ中、自動セーブなんだね。こっから来た。これどういうことなんだろうこれ。
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
砂ネズミだって。
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
ああ、モリーがね、モリーがさっきの生き物ってことね。あ、猫になってるとこじゃない。
This will be obvious later,
あ、違
but
ったわ。
my mom never told me any of these stories.
普通に
Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who
鍵開かなかったからか。だからこっから
I
入ったの
spent
か。
a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
なるほどね。何これ。
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
これは単に物語が進んでいくっていう感じなのかな。
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
終わり？じゃあ次行こっか。あれ？いけねえや。これもう一回見てみようか。
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
なるほど。ノルウェーで有名だったらしい。
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
まあ、
Great grandma had always been the family's
少
biggest
しずつなん
fan.
か住んでんのは住んでんだな。なんだかんだ。
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
こっから来たんだよね。じゃあ、あ、ちょっと待って。
I
ま
hadn't
だ
thought
ビ
of
デオとかあ
myself
る。
as Edith. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
あ、ほら、これさっきね、あれだって船がとかって言ったやつの写真だけど、ドラゴン
Even in her
ここにいる
90s,
のか。あとなさそうだ。
sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
すごいトイレだなこれ。柄が。これ風呂っぽいな。
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
あ、鍵持ってんだ。さっきの鍵全部開いちゃう感じなのこれ。シークレッ
There's
ト
a
バスルーム。
secret in this bathroom.
あ、こういう本あったあっ
It's in the
た。
last place you would look.
ね、仕掛けの本ね。
It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
すごいね。このゲームの仕掛けもすごいね。なるほどって思っちゃう。ああ。
Sven gave Sam an old
なんか
camera
バ
he'd
イオの仕掛け
refurbished.
もすごいなと思う
He
け
never
ど、
put it down.
へーって思っちゃうな。写真。あ、ちょっと待って、これはあとなんもない感じ。あ、でもさ、ここって行けないから奥行っちゃってよかったんだな。行くか。この仕掛けすごいねこれ。お、なんか変な音してきたけど。そこになんかあるな、機械か。でもこれを入るには
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。こっちは関係ないんか。
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
なんか手紙がある。
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again.
ゾンビみたいなあれ
And
の
he
か
wasn't.
な
I
バイ
think
オで言っ
Calvin
たら、
always wanted to fly.
なんだっけな。忘れちゃった。セブンの家。セブンの家。忘れちゃった。
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
あんな
I
感じ
told
の
him
内容。
going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
これ VR でやったら本当にブランコ乗ってるような視点になり
maybe
そう
if
だ
the
ね。
wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
これまた変身するってやつじゃないの？こっち。おお、すごい視点これ。
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
なるほど。
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the
オー
room.
トセーブなのは分かった。カビが立ち入り禁止にした。
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
あ、違うわ。あ、いけた。すごいな、仕掛けばっかりだね。まさか。誰がこんなさ、家作んのって思っちゃうよね。
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
ちょっとこっちもいける。ああ。
Growing up,
この
I
出口
always
につ
thought
な
of
がった
Barbara
ん
as a
か。
child star.
あ、違うわ。
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
いいとかっつって出れねえよ。このまま戻れってことか。だって何もなかった。で3階だって行けないっしょ。どうすんだこれ。なんかよくわかんないまま進
As
ん
a
でき
kid,
た
I
ま
just
た。
assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
あ ホラーゲー、なんか落とした。ホラーゲーとかそういうことじゃないのこのゲームって。違うのかな。ホラーゲーっぽかったんだけどな、題名とか。
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
ここさっき入ったとこじゃん。ああ、とりあえず何もできんのね。一回降りてみるか、じゃあ。
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
ああ、読めなかった。これどうするんですか。プレイだとそのままオプション。あれ、ちょっと待って。ああ、これクロスヘアってこういうことね。いらんわ。これなんか別に謎解きもない感じだけど、だってここまだ行けないっしょ。なんで逆に戻した。この開いてる鳴ってる間だけ入れるとかそういうことじゃないんだ。そういうことではないみたいね。じゃあさっきのあれか、出てきた隙間、さっきの出てきた隙間からさ、多分なんかあるんじゃない？この部屋じゃない。ちょっと待って、どこの部屋だっけあ、ここか。で、ここは行けない。で、ここ、あれ？あれ、この人、あ、ここだ。だからこっちになんかあるんじゃない？これまだなんかこれ持ってけないか。見てないのがすごいなこれ。雪男みたいな。でもこれ鍵開けらんないしね。さあどうする。ピザみたいなのがあるよ。ハッピーバースデー。あ、ちょっと待って、これ海外のアニメっていう感じするね。本が
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
わからないね。
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream.
まあこの翻訳をね言ってんだろうけど。
Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box.
なるほどね。
The secret is to keep winding and winding until
巻き
finally
つけてさらに巻いていく。ああ、なるほどね。はいはいはいはい。
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned.
じゃあさっきの巻きまくればいいってことだ。ね。巻きまくればいいってことだ。さっきの。
She reached for the music box.
1階だ。じゃあ1階まで。あ、え？これ本なのにこうやって動けんの？
She wound the key. She listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
え、何これ？
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the
再現
worst.
動画。いきなりアニメの世界に漫画本の世界に入ってるんだけど、なんか殴れるよこれ。ちょっと暴れといた。ほらほらほらほらほら。大丈夫なんこれ、こんなで。ビリヤードだ。あ、飛んだ。大丈夫なんかな。どこに住んでるか全然わかんないんだけど。血だ。
Leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
ほら何がオラだかわかんねえけど、ほら、あ、これか。どうすんだこれ。サンドバッグ。サンドバッグにしてやるぜ。わかんないけど頼むよ。冷蔵庫やった。
Oh.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act
何これ
furious.
どういうこと
All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused.
どういうこと全然ホラーじゃなくない
She
これ
threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's
全
going on
然
up
ホラーじゃない
there?
ぞこれ
Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
また行くのほらこれで何かするわけじゃないんだ。どうすんだこれ。違う。え、何すんのこれ。ひょっこりはん。いないんだって。
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
これをこれからやるってこと？
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
すごいなこのなんかなんでアニメの世界にいる漫画本の世界にいるかわかんないけど。
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
この部屋ってあこれじゃない。ほらほらほらあ壊れたりしないんだ。じゃあさこっちか。あちげえのか。
Ollie's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
どうすんの？
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
ここかな。ここに別になんかあの男ここにあれしたけどなんもねえな。まあ死体があるから行ってみっか。
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing,
確かに
but
消えてる。
all she heard was
ピンポーンだって。もしもしカメよカメさんよ
at the door. She heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
後ろにいる2人の男。
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of
あ
monsters
さっ
they
きの怪
were,
物だっ
and
た
she
から知らな
realized
かっ
what
たみ
was
たいな
about to
感じ。
happen.
まあこの絵はさ どっかで見たことあるようなあれだね、キャラクターたちだね。
Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real
随分なんか
eerie tale.
コミカルな感じだな。
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of a door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or
どういうことこれ？ちょっとね、音声が途切れちゃったみたいなんだけど、ごめんなさい。
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself.
どういうこと？これまだ序章で全部揃ってから動き始めるのかな？なんかさ、あんまりホラー要素がさ、ないかなって思ってんだけど。
Maybe we believed so much in a family curse. We made it real.
それを現実ししまったのかもしれない。あ、降りれるわけじゃないんだね。
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
このさっきのこの絵のストーリー違うのかな？それともこれ全部揃ったらおしまいかな？終わり？あ、違うわ。終わりじゃなかった。クレジット押した。いきなりさ、なんかエンドロールらしきものが流れたからあれと思った。
And the history you're a part of.
そうなの。どうすんの？ああ、これ登って。
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
ここは意味ないみたいだからこっちか。あ、この人もう出てきちゃったの？あれだもんね、17歳の子に入れ替わったんだもんね。
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
今屋敷にいたんじゃねえの？こっちからじゃないといけませんよっていうのがあるわけ。ちょっと待って。
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
家より先に墓地を建てたらしいよ。
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
あそこに行くってことか。これか。こうか。
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
光ってるね。海賊船？違う、家が沈んでんだこれ。ほら、さっきの屋敷じゃねえのこれ。沈んでんの。どうすんのこれ。見終わった？あ、見終わったっぽいな。
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
戻っていいんだな。
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
サム・フィンチだって。これさっき名前載った人やね、これにね、ほら。サムとかね。家系図、これ家系図なんだね、要はね。家系図ってことだ、これ。
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday. And find everything out for myself.
登れんのかな、これ。あ、登れたわ。別荘みたいな感じだね。
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
すげえな、この子。この木って普通に考えたら、17歳の女の子が乗ったら折れそうな気もしないでもないけどね。よく
I never met Grandpa Sam,
渡れたな、こ
but I
れ。
think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Perfect.
あ、写真撮ればよかったのか。
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Never forget this weekend, Dad.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The
こ
camera's
の
older
人を
than you
写
are.
真撮ればいいんだね。探さなくちゃダメなんだ。
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
どこにいるのあんた。
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
ちゃぼやけてる。あ、これか。達成してんじゃん。
Hey. That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad.
失敗するともう一回。
You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
え？これ？
Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
あ、これを撮ればいいの？
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
違うの？
Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
違
Found
う
an
みたい。
old logging trail.
何飛んだ？
There were deer everywhere. Good eyes, Don.
これ
Take the
か。
shot. Let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your...
違うんだ。
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need
こ
to
れ
be
か。
strong.
違うわ。
Now keep yourself squared up.
いる？
Elbows down, like we practiced.
これ以上アップできないんだけどな。あ、これか。
Great shot, Don.
超ドアップじゃん、このおじいちゃん。
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
ちょっと。ああ。
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
なるほど。ダッシュで行け。ダッシュで行け。ダッシュで行け。
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
マジ？
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
さあ。
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
写真をたくさん取り付けた人生なのにカメラの前で被写体になるのを恐れたらしい。なるほど。あ、これがね、さっきの、あ、これ違う、鳥だった。こっちか。この家もさ、夜になったね。
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
失った。どうなんでしょうね。はい、こんばんは。いらっしゃい。ホラーゲームっぽいけど、なんかホラーな感じはしない。今回もね、本当はね、やろうと思ってたゲームがあったんですけど、YouTube でちょっと配信できないことが分かって、急遽ね、変えたんで、変えてしまったんですけど。
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
なんかこれストーリーを追っていくだけのなんていうのかな、感じですよね、見てるとね。でこれどうすんの？投げられるよ。投げられた。
Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
あ、違う。カエル動かすんだ。
I wonder what he saw.
動かすんだけど、これを抜くのかな。
What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin.
どうすんのかな。
Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
あれかな。あの上のやつを動かすのかな。ちょっとわかんないなこれ。ほら行け、ほら行け、ほら成功です。おい、おかしいだろ今の。乗ったのに。ちょっと待って、もう一回。もう上がれなくない？ほら上がれないじゃん。ちょっと待って。お、上がれた。上がれたのはいいけど、逆向けないよこれ。あ、向けた。何これ。どういうことこれ。どうすんのこれ。お風呂でカエル遊び、どういうことこれ。これなんか使うのかな。
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
どうしたこいつら。こいつらどうした。
I don't want Gregory to hear this.
なんか操作できるキャラクターある？カエルだ。まだカエルが操作できる。
I wish he could have told us about the world we saw.
動いたよ。ほら。
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory.
すごい、なんか今度は海の中になったぞ。海藻の中。あ、こうやって泳ぐんだ。これを抜けばいいんだね。多分きっと。ちょっとなんかポップすぎるなこれ。コミカルだな。
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
でもさ、あと1、2、3、4つぐらいで終わるよこれ。今日終わっちゃうんじゃないのこれ。ガスに捧げる歌だって。
Who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
すごいこれ字消せるよほら。 銃を集めて銃を集めて誰かに送るんだ。
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart and just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Ah, なるほどね。これを飛ばして銃をあれするんだ。ひっくり返すってことだ。
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
で、いいんじゃないの？もう結婚したんだから。で、次はどうすんの？すごいね。こんだけたこ揚げうまかったらね。
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
こっちか。ほら。
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
全部持ってけんのこれ。違うのこれ。どうするのこれ。すごいね。家ごと吹っ飛ばしたよこれ。
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about it. Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
終わっちゃうんじゃないのこれ。って思うんだけど、そんなことない。さあどうするか。どうするか。で、こっちで合ってる？
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
ロッククライミングこれ。
At the time, it was as far away as
そういうことみたいです。すごいな。
She spent a summer building houses. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
あれこっちは見えないの？見えない。あ、これか。
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
ホリーバイブルだったよ。これちょっと文字消えんの早いな。行こうか、じゃあ。
Lewis was born a year later.
で下には行けない。
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
増築だって。こんだけ広いのにね。こんだけ仕掛けがあってこんだけ広いのに増築だって。
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
で、人数が住んでるからか。
But it didn't last. あとなんもなさそうだね。じゃあ行こうか。 The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
部屋数めっちゃあるね。
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
What? 自動で上がるようになってんだ。これ自動ではないか。自動ではないね、手動だね。これミルトンだって。
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
出演だって。お、すごい。これペラペラ漫画じゃん。ペラペラ漫画って言わないか、パラパラ漫画っていうのかこれ。パラパラ漫画。扉。あれこれさっきの部屋じゃないの？壁につけた壁の。
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
私以外みんな死んじゃった感じこれ。私っていうか主人公以外。そんな感じするな。でもなんもないな。なんもないな。
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
ドアを封じたんだ母さんは。なるほどね。
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
左上行ってみようか。これさっきの壁に描かれた絵のとこじゃないかなと思ってんだけど。
I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room.
大元の部屋に戻らないと多分ダメだと思うけど。
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room, except Lewis.
あ、これこっち行ったとこか。これはさすがに行けないよね。上まで行ってなんか 飛び移ったりとできそうな感じしちゃうけど、このゲーム。いけんじゃない？ほら、いけたいけたいけた。いけた。でさ、あれここってさ、電気切られてんじゃなかったの？その割にはなんか電気ついてんだね。
That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
キャラクターだったりとか変わってるからさ、わかんないよね。これどうすればいいんだろう。どうすればいいんだろう。待ってればいい。戻る。あ、戻れないね。あ、間違えた。どうすんだろうこれ。こっちも行けないしね。動かせないぞ。さあどうするんだ。ああ、そういうこと。
He took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the canyon.
RPG みたいな動きになってんだけど、これ操作がね。
I spoke with his boss.
とりあえずこいつ動かすか。
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
これ
Like a
動か
whole
しから
new Lewis.
ながらだと読みづらいね。
So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
とりあえずこのまま済ませるか。キャラクターだけ。
And songs for them to play.
なんか。
He talked about starting a band.
ハーメルンの笛吹きのように後ろからついてきてる。
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him. At all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet,
忙しいなこれ。右と左動かしながら。なんかやらなくちゃいけない。
So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
スーパーマリオやんこれ。スーパーマリオワールドじゃん。
But his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
どっちがいいと思う？こっち行くか。
handsome queen.
あ、もう戻れないこれ。戻れない。
The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her. silver harp.
合ってんのこれ？よくわからん。よくわからないのが進んでますけどね。いいですかね。いつまで俺はこの魚の
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
もう魚良くないこれ。
It's hard to argue.
魚関係ある。あ、こっちか。終わったね。なんであんな城からいきなりここになった？なんかない感じ？
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
で、あと2個。2個ぐらいで埋まる？じゃあ次行こう。こっちかな。
way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
持ち物すべて置いて仮面だったんだって。
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
部屋の中に部屋があるみたいなって感じだな。ちょっと待って、エディか。
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
あれこれあれじゃね
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
あれさっきのあれでも身長が足りないこれあここ行けってこと
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
何を恐れてるんだ
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
なるほど
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
ああ、なるほどね。なるほどねって言って本当に分かってんのかって話なんだけどね。
There's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
これは今度あれかな、おばあちゃんに切り替わったのかな。
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
からじゃ降りれないんだ。降りれないね。降りるんじゃないのこれ。 ちか。明かりがついたってことはこっちだね。
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
あ、このおばあちゃんがあれなんだ、こっちに移動したんだね、そのあれが来る前に、お迎えが来る前に、介護施設のね。全然見えないけど大丈夫かな、合ってるみたい。
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
なんていうか、なんつってるかは全然わかんないけど役が出てこなかった。なんか石みたいにぶつかったけど、これいいの
？But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
やっぱいなかったんだ。
After that, we moved around a lot.
だからもうそれが最後だったんだよ、きっとね。
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
どうすんのこれ。読めんくないか。
My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
一気に飛ばされてった。
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
そうなのか。
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
そうなるよね、でも。
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
あ、もう一人生きてたんだ。最後に残ってる人がいたもんね。
Maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our...
止めると。あ、でも多分これエディが最後でしょ。多分おばあちゃんの話でしょ。だからこのドンっていうの、ドンっていうのかなが多分生きてんだよね、きっと。違うのかな。
and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
きっとね。
This journal was supposed to be for you.
いけんのこれ。動いた。
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
これ今までが序章ってことじゃないよね。これ全部揃って終わりとかじゃないのかなと思ってんだけど。で揃って違うのかな。エンディングですかこれ。エンディングですかこれ。ちょっとよくわかんないぞ。どういうこと？これごめんなさい、押しちゃった。ストーリーよりプレイっていうのが増えてるんだけど、あれ止まっちゃったな。あれなんか違うのしちゃったかな。あれあれこれ違うの戻ってるな。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。ストーリーを、あれちょっと待って。エンディングだったっぽいな、あれ。ここだよね、多分最後はね。あれちょっと、何これどういうこと？ちょっと待ってよ。ストーリーをこれでこれ決定ボタンってどれなんだ？ちょっと待ってね。リスタートしますか？イエス。イエス。合ってるってことこれ。
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
あれこれ見たよ。どういうこと？ちょっと待って待って待って待って待って。 ちょっと待って。押してるボタンが違うのか俺。ああ、違ったっぽいな。これから切り替わるっぽいけど、あれ？でもここ終わってるのよね。だからこれでいいんだ。これでいいんだ。え？あ、ここで終わったんだよね、さっきね。合ってんのか、じゃあこれで。なんかよくわかんないことになってるそう。
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
あなたに伝えるだけだって。だから移動できるところでさっきのおばあさんの話は終わってるってことだね。今日はね。ちょっと待ってちょっと待って、なんで上がったの？でもちょっと待って、これほらなんか取れる。あれこれさっき見たよ。あれこれなんで戻ったの？
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together.
どういうことだこれ。まあ、とりあえず進めるしかないか。さっきやったけど。
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go over?
終わりだったのかなあれ。
The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last.
I'm not.
多分同じのは見れないと思うから。
Edith, you're excused.
まあやり直してるから結局やらなさなきゃダメなんだなきっと。
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
あれこれもしかして今日全部終わっちゃったパターンかな。ちょっと次回のやつをまた探さんとあかんね。
You're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your
た
story.
だね、20日ぐらいかな。
If Edith and I
モン
leave
ハンが
tonight,
ね出るみたいなんだよね。PS4 とかでもね。
we'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
ただサンブレイクじゃないか。あれか。スイッチで出てるやつだからね。どうだろう。
This is about what happened on the night you were born.
あんまり
That night, the
なんか
tide
全部クリアして途中でねサンブレイクはやらずに終わりにしちゃったんだよね。
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
じゃあちょっとしょうがない。もう一回行きましょうか。 これね。
You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. turned around. For a while, I
こっち
wondered.
の声多分合ってるっぽいな文字が出てるから。さっきなんかそのまままっすぐ行って聞き返したんだよね。
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
文字が、こっちかな。
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
無事着いたぞ。
Or maybe I came back to them.
で、ここ入っちゃおう。あっという間に終わっちゃったな。
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
でもどんだかだんだかが
I kicked and screamed, but
終わってないと思うんだ
Mom
けど。
dragged me to the car.
その人が
I
生きて
never
るって
saw
こと
Great
かな。
Grandma Edie again.
ね。生きてるってこと
The
なの
next
か
morning,
も
the
しれない。
band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
このなんかちょっとバイオっぽいものをちょっと想像してたんだけど、
My mom didn't like to talk about it, but
ちょっ
she
と違
started
った
getting
な。
sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
一番初めのねスタートの
She
映
got
像を
better
見
for a
て、
while,
あ、ここに
and then she didn't.
ダンドンダンドンわかんないけど
And then I was
ね
alone.
いたなのかなと思いつついたんだ
Last
けど違っ
Finch
た
left
な。
alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
ここ終わったらさっきなんか写真ができたんだっけ？
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
男の子なん？読んでる人は女性だったのに男の子なん？すごいなこの家。何階建て？ 終わってしまいましたね。多分これで終わりだと思います。次回のゲームなんか考えなくちゃいけないですね。違うかな、さっき戻るおっしゃったからかな。終わりっぽいな感じが。これエンディングだなきっと。ね、まさかこんな早く終わると思わなかったな。終わってしまった。ちょっとね、想像してたものと違うわ本当に。なんかストーリーを読んでくっていうか、まあ進んでいくっていう形だったね。なんかもっとアクションがあって逃げたりすんのかなと思いきや、そうじゃなかった。最近なんか初っ端で初回で終わってるな。前回のねネバーエンディングナイトメアだっけ、あれも初回で終わっちゃってるからね。続きがねないよドラクエはだいぶかかったけどね、ドラクエはだいぶかかったけど、さあ次はね、本当はねずいぶん前にいただいたリクエストのねバイオショックをやろうかなと思ったら YouTube へのねできなかったんですよ。ダウンロードしといたんですけど、終わりだねこれでね。そう YouTube のができなかったんで、ちょっと急遽これも気になってたんでね、やってみたいなと思って気になってたんでこちらを選んだんですけど、プレイってやると一番初めに戻っちゃうのかな。そんな感じかな。そうだね。はい、ということでね、皆様本当に本日もねありがとうございましたね。フィンチ家の奇妙な屋敷起きたことってことでね、ちょっと気になったんで、今回も題名とジャケットとっていう形で選んでしまいましたけども、またね次回何か気になるゲームだったりとかね探してやりたいと思います。本日もね ちょうどいいお時間ですね、時間的にはね。皆様ありがとうございましたということで、また次回ねお会いしましょうということで、お疲れざん。はい、お疲れさん、ありがとう。